Lineage, legacy, heritage. While it might not be as big a deal to us today as it was back in Jesus' day, there is a growing curiosity in many of us related to our lineage and our heritage. Companies like 23andMe, Ancestry.com, Family Tree, MyHeritage, and Legacy Tree help a person find out more about their family and their past than they probably want to know, and probably more than they should know. A friend of mine did a 23andMe DNA test and found out he was 100% himself. Really, that's what it said. Too often we think about our past, be it our lineage, our heritage, or just the past life that we lived. We believe that's our legacy. That's what we will be remembered for, and nothing good can come out of it. That all people will ever remember about us is our past, our sin, our failures, and it bothers us. Look at Jesus' lineage, his heritage. Many of his grandfathers throughout the generations were adulterers. One was a murderer. Several were terrible parents whose children led tabloid-type lives. Other relatives in this lineage were so sinful that God allowed them to be imprisoned and exiled, never to return home again. And yet the house, the town Jesus' family lineage was tied to, was a town often overlooked because it was in the shadow of mighty Jerusalem. And even Jesus' hometown, Nazareth, was one that people often said nothing good could come from. Yeah, not much heritage or legacy in Jesus' past to boast about, rather one to run away from. Yet it was from this town, this house and lineage, that Jesus' legacy was going to rise. Though it had lots of baggage and lots to be ashamed of, though Jesus' birthplace and hometown cast a dark cloud over him, over his future, over his potential legacy, God chose this lineage and heritage, not because of David and David's family, but in spite of it. Jesus was from the house and lineage of David, the greatest yet one of the most imperfect kings of Israel. And yet, because of God's mercy and grace, because of God's divine plan, it was the lineage and heritage from which God would bring the Messiah. God would create an everlasting kingdom out of this lineage. Not because David was a great king or because of David's heritage and his lineage and legacy, but because God is a God of mercy and grace. In doing so, God demonstrated he can redeem and restore anyone's story, heritage, and legacy, and create a beautiful life that brings hope to others. And if God can restore David's legacy, think of what God can do with yours. Our legacy is not our past. Our legacy is the future God creates as we choose to give our life and will to his call and direction. God wants to change the trajectory of your heritage, your lineage, if you will just let Jesus be born in you, that his legacy might continue to be made real in you and through you.